Hi there, I'm Lisa Scott and I'm Halton Council's Road Safety Officer. I'm here today on behalf of safekids.co.uk to talk about child seat safety. The law with regards to children travelling in cars is very simple. Basically, if there's a seat belt available, then the child must be wearing it, and any child under the age of 3 must be in an appropriate seat that's appropriate for their height and their weight. The rearward facing seat is the first stage of seat that a newborn baby will travel in, and these are available in 2 weight ranges. One is up to 10 kilograms and one is up to 13 kilograms, and that's roughly about 9 or 12 months old. They are both rearward facing seats which are to be used rearward facing only. Those rearward facing seats cannot be used in a vehicle that has an airbag in the front. They mustn't be used in the front, they can only be used in the rear of the vehicle. With regards to older children, they then move up into a forward-facing seat, which will take your child from maybe up to about 4 years of age. These are forward-facing seats, and these have a separate harness which harnesses the child into the seat, and the seat belt itself is actually keeping the seat secured into the vehicle, and the harness will actually keep the child into the seat. And those straps must always remain snugly fitted. In the summer, with less clothes on, with t-shirts or just vests, they must fit snugly. But in the winter, when you're travelling with coats, when you've got thicker jumpers on, they must also remain snugly fitted and not be loose, because a loose harness on a car seat is going to cause danger and injury in a crash. We next move on to a forward-facing seat, or a booster seat, which is fitted by the car seat's seat belt, and the seat belt goes around the child and slots into the car seat anchorage. And then finally, as the child is getting older, they can fit onto a booster cushion, which has the back removed from the booster seat, which is the previous one. Children up to the age of 12 or 135 centimetres or 4'5" must be in an appropriate seat for their age and their weight. If a child is under the age of 12, as I say, they must be in a seat that's appropriate for their age and weight. If they're 12 or 13, then they have to wear an adult seat belt. Anybody under the age of 14, it is the driver's responsibility to ensure that they are wearing their seat belt. After the age of 14, in the eyes of the law, it is the individual's responsibility to ensure that they're wearing the seat belt. What happens in other vehicles? In the front of other vehicles, seat belts must be worn at all times, and in the rear of other vehicles, children must be restrained in an appropriate seat if one is available. And this includes taxis whereby there might not be a seat available, and they are allowed under the legislation to travel without an appropriate seat, but that is just a one exception. The legal penalties for not wearing or not using a seatbelt correctly is £500, but I think everybody would agree that that's quite a minimum sum when you're thinking about a child's life. When travelling in the rear of other vehicles, children under the age of 3 must use an appropriate restraint if one is available. For children aged 3 to 11 and under 135 centimetres, 4'5", they must wear an appropriate restraint if available, and if not, they must wear an adult belt. For children 12 or 13, or those who are over 135 centimetres, they must also wear an adult seat belt when travelling in the back of another vehicle.